Law-abiding gun owners won at the Supreme Court the other day, but that doesn't mean all their issues are taken care of. I'm with Conservative MP Bob Zimmer. He's from Prince George Peace River. I got the riding name correct this time. You've got a motion before the House of Commons now, and you're going to be asking your fellow MPs to vote on it in a little while. Yeah. It's about the UN. I'll read the motion in a minute, but tell me why you decided to bring forward a motion about gun control regarding the United Nations in Canada's Parliament.
Yeah, really it was about the markings regime that's within that particular firearms treaty that we're a part of.
The arms trade treaty?
Yes, absolutely. And what it is, it's just completely redundant for what Canadians already have. We already have an extensive safety regime for firearms in Canada, and this would just add a lot of red tape to firearms owners and purchasers.
All right, so the motion reads that in the opinion of the House, Canada already exceeds all the standards listed in the United Nations Resolution 55255 concerning firearms, the resolution, and B, the regulations envisioned in the resolution would do nothing to enhance public safety and would serve only to burden the law-abiding firearms community, and therefore the government has already surpassed its obligations with respect to the resolutions and is not required to take any further steps. Canada's resisted signing on to the ATT. I know the Obama administration had talked about it. Mm-hmm. It would never fly through the Senate down there. But the Canadian government has resisted because they do see it as a redundant and also a possibility of bringing back a long gun registry.
Right.
Is there a move to say Canada needs to abide by this still?
Not from our perspective, there definitely isn't. You've said it too, the back door to the registry, and that's something, especially with the ruling today, with the Supreme Court ruling that we do have rights over the data and can destroy it. This just further enhances that the long gun registry is dead, and we want to keep it that way.
So this UN attempt, if it was brought in, what would happen? Because there's still an awful lot of Canadians that don't look at the UN the way that I do, which is an organization that gives too much credence to dictators and thugs, that doesn't have democratic legitimacy, and they just think the UN is a good organization that does some work, and they do some good work. Mm-hmm. But what would this do? It would require Canada to keep track of all long guns?
Yes, absolutely. What it's going to do, especially what's a bone of contention for most firearms owners, is it's going to have another layer of complexity in terms of registration numbers. So instead of just having one number on your gun, you're going to have another Canadian designation, especially at the time of purchase. So you're going to have two markings now on firearms, or the one we think is sufficient.
So that would add costs?
Absolutely. Quotes that we've heard is around $200 per firearm and up.
Okay, so that would add costs, and then the government has to keep track of that number.
Yes, and that's where we get into the weeds with the registry, is that it's another level and it's another registration type. And again, it's like you said, it's a backdoor registry that we don't want to see happen in Canada.
So the sales pitch on this arms trade treaty is keep guns out of the hands of, let's think of groups like ISIS. Yeah. It's to stop illicit arms trade. How does keeping track of your shotgun stop ISIS from getting an AK-47?
Well, unfortunately, law-abiding firearms owners are exactly that. We abide by the law. I'm a firearms owner myself. Unfortunately, the criminals that you're just talking about don't. So I don't think it's going to have much effect on ISIL and terrorists.
All right, Bob Zimmer, thanks so much.
Thanks, Brian.